This is a good one. Here, take this meat for yourself. Mine? Not at all. It belongs to itself. It sometimes brings me old bones to help with my puzzles, that's all. I should be clear. While I don't know what bones these are, I can say for certain they don't belong to any humans who slumber here or elsewhere. Bones are another thing that tickles my fancy. Sometimes when I see one that's a bit unusual, I'll pick it up and add it to my collection. Then when I'm feeling bored, I try to connect all my bones and create something whole. A bit like doing a jigsaw puzzle. You could call it a form of artistic expression. Even though each piece of this bone puzzle picture is unrelated to the next, and indeed they cannot possibly be related, just pondering how best to put them together and create something beautiful is an extremely relaxing process. Then, one day, an uninvited guest intruded on the room where I kept my bone puzzle picture. It was none other than the dog you saw just now. It did. By the time I entered the room, the little intruder had completely dismantled my picture. The second it turned and saw me, it bolted away between my legs. Luckily, all was not lost, as I'd already taken a photo of it. And more than that, now that my old puzzle was dismantled, I was free to construct an even bigger puzzle with my growing collection of bones. Which is how I consoled myself at the time. After all, the damage had been done, so why not look on the bright side? The next day, as I was just about to begin piecing my puzzle together, my four-legged guest returned, and this time it brought a mouthful of bones. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but its intent became clear when it laid its animal bones at my feet and then placed them one by one into my puzzle. After that, it simply sat down and looked at me. After I gave it some cured meat, it got up and left. Ever since then, it's dropped by from time to time to give me bones in exchange for food. I think you might be viewing this with a little too much sentimentality. It's just a dog looking for food, nothing more. I'm a source of sustenance, and luckily for my canine friend, I happen to be relatively generous. Not that that's a bad thing. I view it more as an assistant under my employ. It doesn't speak, and it leaves when I tell it to. That's pretty much everything you could hope for in an assistant. If you'd like, you can give it some meat. Sometimes it sits and waits by your side, which I think probably means it's still hungry. Perhaps it might be a little more friendly with someone such as yourself.
Human with food. Likes bones, but smells scary. Very scary. But gives me food?
Gemstones reflect the light differently in different environments. A gem by candlelight flickers like flame, while a jewel beneath the moon seems like a tear-filled eye. There are 1,000 forms to beauty, and gems are cut 1,000 ways. Such is the complexity of things both elegant and timeless. I'm in the habit of collecting these old gemstones. Some are even from other nations. Feel free to enjoy this collection whenever you please. Being as old as they are, they have lost some of their glow and appear a little turbid. They cannot compare with the brilliant luster of a newly cut stone. Do be careful when touching them, so as to not damage them. I have left most of them in their original casing. There is indeed quite a lot. After accounting for daily necessities and emergency supplies, there's still enough to set aside in case of sudden visits from my colleagues. After all, my personal requirements are modest. It would be a waste not to save the excess and use it to help others in need. Lamp oil, candles, leather, paper, and pens. Oh, and a few bottles of strong liquor, and some emergency food, of course. Judging by your expression, I can tell you're wondering, what emergency food did you buy exactly? These supplies need to stand the test of time, so all of this food has undergone special processing. I assure you, unless you're on the brink of starvation, you don't want to try it. The cured meat, for example, is as tough as tree bark, and the biscuits taste like tossed-out newspaper. Even if you soak them in milk or vegetable soup, the best you could hope for is soggy newspaper. Well, there are times when one has no other choice. I've tried to extract nutrients from this food before. Well, eat might not be the best word to use. I have a somewhat more efficient method. Here, I'll show you. I suppose you could call it cooking with fire. There have been a few more desperate moments when I've been trapped alongside other poor souls. You should know, if I were to use the method I've just shown you in front of my colleagues, it might leave them feeling uneasy. And so I have at such times been forced to attempt to swallow this food, as they would. Though try as I might, I really was unable to swallow it. In the end, I broke it down into smaller pieces, some of which I stuffed into my mouth and some of which I dropped into my lantern when no one was looking. Unfortunately, my colleagues noticed how slowly I was eating and mistook my reluctance for concern, believing I was eating less to allow them more. After that, they patted me on the back and enthusiastically filled my arms with more cured meat and biscuits. Indeed, I was grateful for their noble act of kindness, and can clearly remember the taste of cured meat and biscuits to this day. Thank you for remembering my request, Master Tarno. I will be sure to treasure this pocket watch.
There's no need to stand on ceremony, Mr. Flins. If I may be so bold, I'd say this watch is fortunate to have ended up in the hands of someone as discerning as yourself.
Even if that someone turned up to collect it half a month late because he needed more time to get the money, I do hope it won't miss the finer life and flee back to your shop in the middle of the night.
Such a wonderful sense of humor. Even if it wished to escape, I doubt it would get far with a ratnik such as yourself on its tail. Here, I've already wrapped it. It's yours.
My thanks again, dear Master Tarno. Perhaps we can have a drink in the flagship when you're next free.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Flins.
You could say so. This pocket watch cost me half a month's salary. I suppose that means no more fine liquor for me for the next 2 weeks. In that case, I should paraphrase Master Tarno just now and say, my pleasure, Miss Traveler. I look forward to your invitation. Another 3 reports finished. Time for a breath of fresh air. Did they make you write reports in the Adventurers Guild too? Alas, then we share the same misfortune. I have never been able to get used to the endless cycle of report after report. I dare say we had no such custom in the Nod-Krai of old. Of course, I understand why they are important, but this process of repeatedly describing in laborious detail things that could easily be summarized in a single sentence, it is exhausting. The mere thought of the outstanding reports I have yet to finish is simply... No, I mustn't. These things are necessary. I should focus on that. A dutiful ratnik must write his reports. A little longer here, and then I'll get back to it. Just a little longer. Shh, a little lighter on your feet, if you wouldn't mind. The fish here are used to the quiet, which makes them very sensitive indeed to external noise. So as well as treading gently, we ought to keep our voices down when we speak. I once tried fishing while 2 ghosts nearby were chatting incessantly. Didn't get a single bite all day. Since then, I have resolved to greet any nearby ghosts and ask them to kindly take their conversation elsewhere before I begin. I very much wish to see fish on the dinner table tonight. I shall not go home empty-handed. Is no one here? Well, hello. This is certainly a most joyful encounter. Seeing you lifts my spirits after a somewhat disheartening trip. I wouldn't say anything's the matter, merely that I am dealing with some unexpected circumstances. I recently learned of a collector in Nasha Town who, due to financial concerns, has been obliged to offer a pair of ancient coins for sale. I'm told she's a little eccentric and doesn't reply to letters, so I came out here myself to see if I could arrange a deal. I needed to come to town anyway to pick up some supplies, so I thought I'd pay her a visit on the way. Unfortunately, she doesn't appear to be home. More's the pity. It's just a little hobby of mine. Everyone has something that tickles their fancy, am I right? For me, it's old coins and gemstones. Time is the best filter. Anything that can make it through the sieve of time is almost guaranteed to be of good quality. The style, pattern, and condition of a coin convey a lot of information. They can tell you, for instance, how many moons it has seen before finding its way into my hands. Think about it. A coin may have passed through 10,000 people's hands, brought them happiness or sorrow, and witnessed a multitude of moments in their lives. The weight of time it contains is far heavier than its appearance would suggest. It is a witness to the past and something that has value in the present day, which makes it more than worth collecting. These coins have been stuck in my mind these last few days. What do they look like? What stories can they tell? If I can't meet this collector, I fear all desire to return home shall desert me. Look at me, rambling on about coins without a thought for the friend standing by my side. Let me think of a more interesting topic to make up for boring you just now. Ah, yes. Recently, I purchased a beautiful azure gemstone from a Fontanian merchant. It had long slumbered at the bottom of the ocean until being recovered just some days ago. I was told it was once embedded in the sword of a champion duelist at the court of Fontaine, while another story claims it was a pirate crew's prized treasure. That's exactly what I thought. Whenever a merchant starts waxing lyrical and weaving tales, it's usually a sign that they don't have faith in their wares. Fortunately, I'm very good at appraising a gemstone's true worth, even if its owner hasn't the faintest idea what they're holding. Please, allow me to invite you to my residence once more. I have a feeling you'll appreciate the gem itself, and you may well find my valuation of it quite interesting too. I'll be waiting for you. This collector must be a busy person indeed.
Repairs complete. It was just an old circuit, nothing serious.
Such remarkable efficiency, Miss Ineffa. If it weren't for you, this streetlight would have had me stumped. If it had proven beyond fixing, I may have had to take my own lantern and hang it in its place.
Aino previously proposed a solution. She said she could train the Ratniki so they'd have the basic knowledge to perform simple tasks, like repairing circuits. That way, you wouldn't need to inform Aino every time a streetlight goes out and then wait in the dark until I arrive to repair it.
Yes and no. Strictly speaking, maintaining the brightness of the lights has been their traditional role. Before the use of Kuvaki became widespread, the streetlights were powered by regular oil. Back then, people were needed to light and extinguish the flames. Because of how dangerous said streets were at night, the Ratniki took on this role. They already carried lanterns, in any case, and were adept at using them while fighting. But as I'm sure you've already noticed, the current streetlights are powered by Kuvaki, and it's not so easy to light or extinguish them using traditional means. Because of this, whenever a light goes out nowadays, all I can do is stand here helplessly and wait for a professional to come along and solve the problem.
Aino organized an engineering seminar, but all the Ratniki made excuses to leave halfway through. They said things like, "I have an urgent task," or I need to go on patrol, or it's time for me to make a report.
I didn't leave. It is, after all, disrespectful to the host to leave a seminar early.
True, but the biscuits you brought were too much of a distraction for Aino. She stopped teaching completely. And then I was so busy trying to stop her from eating that I could not take over the seminar. So please, the next time you attend a class of any kind, don't bring anything sweet that might attract Aino's attention. And don't bring any toys either.
I promise I won't.
Please say it in full. The last time you promised not to bring anything sweet, you brought a toy, and Aino was completely unable to continue.
I promise I won't bring anything sweet, any toys, or anything else that might unduly divert Miss Aino's attention.
That's better. I'll notify you when she next holds an engineering class. For now, I have to pick some lacquerberries for her. Goodbye.
Traveler, do you know of anything else besides sweet treats, toys, and small fluffy animals that might keep Miss Aino quiet for a while? Half an hour shall suffice. A companion? Oh, that is inspired. Perhaps I should ask Miss Neffa if she can send Miss Yehoda to accompany me. Naturally. The only reason I wish to ask Miss Yehoda to attend is that if I am to swim in the great ocean of knowledge, I'd very much like someone else to enjoy Miss Aino's educational ablutions. Considering the strength of Miss Yehoda's relationship with the two of you, I believe she would be the perfect candidate to go with me. The winds awaken, the leaves whirl round. The winds awaken, the leaves whirl round.